Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going today? So, I got a chance to watch a movie that Netflix just put out called Steel Rain, or at least I think it just came out, because I'm not really sure, because sometimes when they promote a movie, they tell you the release date, other times not so much. But either way, Korean cinema has really been piquing my interest of late, so I saw that and I was just like, oh, screw it, why don't we give this one a shot too? And to be completely honest, after watching it, it's not the greatest movie in the world, but it is safe to say that my interest in Korean films has not gone anywhere after watching it. The basic plot of the movie is that there's a rebel group in North Korea that's trying to overthrow the government, and that rebellion is trying to start some kind of war with South Korea. However, a loyal agent of North Korea tries to link up with somebody from South Korea, and then they try and team up to try and prevent some kind of war from going on, and they're trying to keep the peace. And then the movie kind of goes into this really cool, like, spy action thrillery kind of thing. And far and away, the best part of this movie were all the action scenes. Like, they were really concise, they were well crafted, they were well paced, like, everything about the action scenes was awesome. But it wasn't, like, over the top or predictable. It was like a less Hollywoodized version of, like, a Hollywood action movie. Like, it had all the style, but it was, like, style with a purpose, I guess you could say. And I've also said it before that I don't like to comment on the acting necessarily with foreign films because I don't know the proper flow of the language, so I don't know what sounds good and what sounds bad. But there was only like one or two moments in the movie that I thought looked ridiculous. Most notably, there's one scene where a guy is like dancing way too dramatically to some South Korean pop music, and I was like, okay, tone it down, Big Papa, you're going a little too hard in the paint right now. But pretty much every other time, you could feel like the fear, the tension, the joy, or any of the emotions that all the actors were trying to emote. And I also like that the story just followed two people that just had good hearts, like they just wanted to keep people alive and they wanted everybody to coexist together. Because ultimately, that's a good message, and not every movie has that. And I thought they did a really good job developing the character from North Korea and the main character from South Korea, because they kind of don't trust each other, but they kind of have to, but do they really? Like, they did a good job with that. The music was alright, it wasn't anything special. Really, the only problems that I had with this movie were kind of with the narrative story and the writing. This movie is very much like Snatch in that there's a lot of different groups, and you have to pay attention to every single one of them, or you're gonna miss something. And I can say the same thing about the dialogue. Like, you really actually have to pay attention to every little thing that gets said in the movie, because there were several times that I actually had to rewind and go back and like re-listen to something and try and like figure out what it meant, because I'm not 100% familiar with like what the politics is in that part of the world, and the dialogue was going super fast, so it was getting really hard to follow at times. It's kind of like if any of you have seen The Newsroom or The West Wing or anything written by Aaron Sorkin, because he's a very good writer and all of his dialogue is meant to be like very fast-paced, very quickly, and he also uses a lot of big words. And if there's somebody that's watching that maybe doesn't have English as their first language, they might not pick up everything that's being said. That's kind of how I felt about this movie. Like, it was very, very fast-paced as far as the dialogue went. But once you pick up on it, this is a really fun story. This is kind of a Korean version of like a Tom Clancy-based film, like very like Sum of All Fears, Hunt for Red October type of thing, which means it's really complicated and you really got to pay attention to a lot of the shit that gets said. But yeah, anyway, guys, despite everything I said, I quite enjoyed the movie. So overall, for a score out of 10, I think I'm going to give it a 7.3. Although the story does get a little bit jarring and it's a little bit hard to follow, but once you get into it, like, you can actually really connect with this movie, and I'd recommend it for most people if you don't mind reading subtitles. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you seen this movie? Have you even heard of it? Hop in the comments. Let me know what's up. Other than that, if you like this review, give me a like, subscribe, do all that other bullshit, and I will catch you guys later.